Owen, we're going to do something now that is a little different from what we usually do. Let's look at the year ahead rather than the year back. We don't generally talk about movies we haven't seen because we like to see them. But
it's actually fun to talk about movies you haven't seen.
It is. It's fun to look at the calendar for 2013 and see what jumps out at us as movies that we want to pay attention to. And I think that you and I have each pulled together a small list of what interests us. And I'm going to start with one that's called Elysium. This is made by Neil Blomkamp. This is the guy we know better as the guy who made District 9, which was that fantastic South African sort of sci-fi thriller that had to do with apartheid. This is another futuristic movie that has immigration as its theme. In this case, it also has Matt Damon in it. It also has Jodie Foster in it. And it also has Shelton Copley, who is the great character from District 9. I loved Blomkamp's style when he made District 9, which he made on a shoestring. I'm really curious to see what he does when he has a little bit more to play with.
Totally. A movie I am very much looking forward to, although I can imagine a lot of people might not be, is Baz Luhrmann's Great Gatsby.
Oh, you gotta wait for that one.
Yeah, well, they postponed the release date of it, but look, I think the time is right for a movie of The Great Gatsby with our era's obsessions with wealth and all of that, and I think Baz Luhrmann is the one to do it, because I think when his mojo is really working, he has a sense of class and wealth and style and all that kind of stuff that could really bring out that story. But the thing that really has me excited about this movie is that Gatsby is played by Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think he's in a great moment now. You know, there was a while where he seemed to be playing the same character over and over again, and he'd gotten kind of uninteresting as an actor, and now with Django Unchained and also J. Edgar last year, I think that Leonardo has rediscovered himself as a kind of matinee idol character actor. I think he's great. I think he's at the top of his game, and I really want to see what he does in that movie.
All right, so Elysium comes out in August of 2013. Coming out in about October, something I'm so curious about, I don't know how it's going to work, Spike Lee's remake of Old Boy. Old Boy, which was Park Chan-wook's incredibly violent, very culty movie. I mean, it's just splatterific.
Am I right in remembering that as the Eat the Live Octopus movie?
I believe you are on the case for that one, yes indeed. And this one, though, stars Josh Brolin in the lead character. I do not know how this can be remade. I don't know if you lose any of Park Chan-wook's incredibly intense, dark craziness, or maybe you bring in some of Spike Lee's new dark craziness. Anyhow, I'm agog. Can't wait for that one.
Well, looking ahead seriously to the big movies and the ones that I want to see, one that jumped out at me is J.J. Abrams' new Star Trek movie, Star Trek Into Darkness, because I loved his reboots so much. I mean, look, we're in a culture of remakes, reboots, and a lot of them are so tiresome, and yet what he did with that first Star Trek movie was so exciting, reinventing the characters, being very true to what the characters were, and yet investing them with a whole new youth and energy and sophistication in a way. I got so involved in that first Star Trek movie that ever since it ended, I've been really wanting to know where is he going to go with this, and also loving the actors in it.
Absolutely.
Loving Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto, seeing how they can take these characters we know and love so well and do something new.
So here, okay, so you've had a remake, so we have Star Trek, we have Old Boy as a remake also. Come the end of the year, the movie that I'm quite looking forward to, it's called The Monuments Men. Now, this is George Clooney's latest movie, and you have to forgive me if I read a list of who is in this, because it's quite amazing. Daniel Craig, Cate Blanchett, Bill Murray, Jean Dujardin, John Goodman, Hugh Bonneville from Downton Abbey. Clooney directs it. It is about guys who were assigned to save artworks during the Nazi era. It has a lot of the Argo team working on it from a production point of view. This could be really, really strong and good in a sort of Argo sort of way, and boy, I'd love to end the year with something like that.
Well, that movie really sounds terrific. You've made me realize the last movie that I'm looking forward to in 2013 is another remake. I guess that's inevitable, but it's director Kimberly Peirce's remake of Carrie, the great Brian De Palma, Stephen King movie from 1976.
I love the match of director and subject on this one.
Well, that's exactly it. Carrie has been redone a couple of times now, and not so successfully. In a way, we don't need another remake of this. But Kimberly Peirce is such an interesting filmmaker with such an interesting kind of post-feminist vantage. And in a way, Carrie is this primal princess fantasy, or the anti-princess fantasy, and now we're in this princess era. I want to see what she's going to do with this material. I want to see her do something new with it, revise it, give us a Carrie for the 21st century. So that's just a movie I'm intensely curious about.